Hello, greetings to all the learners. Perhaps this is evening time for me, so I wish you a very, very good evening to each and everyone. Whatever part of the day you are watching this video, a lot of greetings to everyone. So here today I will discuss about how to speak English. Now, the spoken English is very important these days. No? Speak English. We all know that English is an international language. It is an international language. Now, since it is an international language, it is spoken in many countries of the world. So, actually, why it is an international language? Because England had ruled over three-fourths of the world. It had its colonies. So English language was spread in so many countries. So most of the countries of the world, they know a little bit English. So it has become an international language. So here you see each one of you, everyone should know to speak English. Now, 20 or 30 years back, the speaking English was not so important. It was okay that you used to learn the what what are all the rules of that language English or any other language. But these days, what has happened? The whole world is computerized. Everything is in the tip of your finger, in the tip of the mouse. There is what? Globalization. So, after globalization, what has happened? English speaking has become must. So, here we all know that a very excellent student cannot be very successful in his career if he does not know to speak English. Rather, an average student can rise and go ahead in his career, have a very prosperous career. How? If he knows or if he has a full command on learning or on speaking English. So, this is a very important aspect, or you can say this can become a very important part of your personality in which you should have the power of speaking English. So, learners, let me tell you that I am Nupur Roy. My name is Nupur Roy, and I'm an English teacher in the Unacademy. So, the Unacademy, you all know, is a very big platform where you can get access to all types of courses. Many subjects are there to be learned. So, in the CBSE course, the classes are held for all the 11, 12, all the subjects 9, 10, 11, 12, and you can get tutors, you can get educators of the best educators of India. They are all on the platform, on the An Academy platform. So you can subscribe, and this YouTube you can watch for uh, the whole time when I'm speaking. You can also watch the special classes of the An Academy platform. And of course, if you want to be very have a flying color in your results, then you must join the plus course in which the tutors, in which the educators teach in a live session. There is a lot of interaction in the session. So to subscribe, you please subscribe to this channel, to this video of mine, and then for the subscription of the Unacademy, you can use my referral code NUPUR10 and get an additional discount in the fees. Okay, so you can join the Unacademy and have the best tutors where you can learn all the subjects. Okay, So today, as I was telling, I will be discussing how you can enrich your spoken English, how you can have full command over spoken English. So as I was telling, that in spoken English, one thing you must remember, that first thing, there should be a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of eagerness in you to speak English. Second, you must also follow that when you hear English, you practice that. No one can tell you how to speak English. The main is who is more involved. I can, of course, tell you, I can give you a lot of classes, but no one can be your recorded part that you learn it. Your work is to speak out. Speak English. This is the best way of learning spoken English. Speak English, correct, right, correct, wrong, but whatever way you know. If you get a response from the other person to whom you are speaking in English, you know your half the battle is won. You can at least convey your message to the hearer. So if that person responds to you, that means your half the battle is won. So first and foremost is you know what are the different grammatical units of the English speaking. You know them, and then your work on your part, you should only speak. You should practice speaking. And then one more thing you can do, that in speaking English, in learning to speak English, you can also, hello, good evening, dear Eagle, good evening. Oh my, Kabir it is. Okay, okay. Good evening, Kabir. Okay, okay, very good evening. So, my YouTube students, my Plus students are also here. So, I was communicating with them. So here you see what happens, that as I was telling, that to learn to speak English, you can also do one more thing, that every day, suppose in your own mother tongue, you have read a story. You translate that story into English. It is in your mind, then translate that story into English. After translating the story into English, do one thing, you read that story which you have translated. And then what you will do, suppose some person, your mother is there, your sister is there, your friend is there, read out, speak out loudly to any person. Suppose there is no one. Now, this is the digital word, you can record it, and then later you can hear it and see where you have done wrong. What are the mistakes? You can evaluate your spoken English in that way. So every day, learners, if you do like this, then you are sure to learn or have command over English. Now, in this, hello Kabir, where are you? You were here just now? Okay, all right. So, as I told you, what we will do today, we will enrich the spoken English with idioms and phrases. Now, idioms and phrases, what are they? Both are expressions in English. Expressions are there, a group of words. Now, these idioms and phrases, if you know few of them very hard, there are thousands of them, idioms and phrases. But if you know few of them very nicely, you can use it in your colloquial English, in your conversation. Colloquial means conversational, in your conversations, conversational English. When you are speaking to someone, yes, Eagle Sky or Kabir, you are there? Okay, okay. So, what are you learning? You are here. What we will learn? We will come to know about some idioms and phrases which are very common and which you should always keep thorough in your mind so that you can use them in your colloquial language. in your conversational language when you are speaking, when you are taking up the conversation in English. So let's begin. First thing is you enrich your English language. How will you enrich? Enrich means how will you make yourself rich with the words, rich with the idioms, phrases of English language. If you know these, as I told you, you will have command over English. And what else did I tell you? A very excellent student, resulted student, a student with an excellent result may not be very successful in his career if he doesn't know proper English. So, this is the call of the time that you have to learn English speaking, and an average student can go up in his career if he has got command over English. Why? Because of the globalization, because of course we all know that English is an international language. In most countries, you can speak English and convey your messages. So here today what we are going to do, we will do the use of idioms. Okay, Kabir. So what we are going to do, we are going to do the idioms. Now here in the idioms and phrases, just see learners what are there. So here some what we will do some common idioms. Now, common idioms. What are idioms? In Hindi, they are called muhavra. Very common. You can speak in this way. Today it was raining here, no? So you can speak, oh my, today it was raining cats and dogs. Now, raining cats and dogs, it was raining cats and dogs, doesn't mean that cats and dogs are coming down from the sky. What is actually its meaning? What is the figurative meaning? What is the actually the meaning conveyed by that idiom? That is, it was raining heavily. Are you understanding? So in your conversation, in your spoken English, you can use, suppose it was raining very heavily, how you will speak? You can speak, it was raining cats and dogs. Yesterday it was raining cats and dogs. Okay? So this is a very, very common idiom. So what is an idiom? An idiom is a manner of speaking that is natural to the native speakers of a language. Native speakers means those speakers whose language is the English is their native, means English is their mother tongue. Suppose you go to United Kingdom, there you can use the idiom and you can express your words. The same thing you are using in India also in the offices. Most of the offices, what happens? You speak like an Englishman, means you have full command over English, command over idioms, phrases, all these things, and then you speak out in a fluent way. Now, here you see, to learn English idioms and expressions, it can take some time, but there are some of them that are more popular than others that will come handy if you know them. So here it says that to know the English idioms and expressions, it will take some time. Why? Because there are thousands and thousands of idioms in English language. But what will you do? Your work is to learn the very popular ones so that it is very easy for you to communicate. Now you haven't to form a whole sentence. Instead, what you will do? You will use the idiom and you will express your words in that way. And that will come, of course, the idioms, the popular idioms will come handy if you know them. When you learn English idioms and phrases, what happens? You will sound more confident. When you learn English idioms, phrases, what? You will sound very confident. Suppose you are given something from a friend, you can use immediately, you can say, thank you so much. Now, thank you so much is what? That is a phrase. That's great of you. That's a phrase. That's great. That's awesome. That's a phrase. So using idioms and phrases are a very, very comfortable way of speaking English. And what you can sound, of course, when you speak these phrases. So what is Your work, learners, your work should be, you, can we make idioms also? Not exactly. There are so many idioms. William Shakespeare only has given so many number of idioms. One I remember, in The Merchant of Venice, he said, "Good riddance." That is Portia, the lady protagonist in The Merchant of Venice, written by William Shakespeare. She says, "Good riddance," means she got rid, good that she is free from that. Many suitors had come to win her, no. So she had, when one of from for one of them she had used good riddance, means she was relieved of that suitor. So William Shakespeare himself has given thousands of idioms in all his dramas. So there are many idioms which you can, of course, every day if you learn 5 of them, your command of English is improving. So what when you use idioms and phrases, what happens? You appear to be very confident speaker. Your English is very confidently spoken. As I told you, that sees this one, cat got your tongue. Now, the native speakers will always speak. Those who are in English speaking countries, they will always speak like this. Cat got your tongue. Or in Hindi, what you say? No do 11 ho jana, means he ran away. So in English also you can use these idioms. Cat got your tongue. That means used when someone has nothing to say. Now you cannot use like this, no? I cannot say anything. Instead, what you can say? Oh my, the cat got why are you not speaking? Has the cat got your tongue? Means why are you cannot say anything. So these are the good way of confidently speaking English. Now next you see, my cheeks are falling off. Now cheeks cannot fall off, no. But this is an idiom. Cheeks are falling off means when you get the food, when you want to say that the food is very delicious. Delicious means very tasty, very sumptuous. Then what you say? My cheeks are falling down. That means your cheeks are not falling down. Your expression is so that you want to convey that the food is very delicious. And this is internationally accepted because English is an international language. All right. Now, next you see, straight from the horse's mouth. Now, this is very common idiom. Straight from the horse's mouth. What happens? We often say in our workplace, in among students also, you all use this, that, oh my, will there be a holiday tomorrow among the students? Then one another friend of yours can say, oh yeah, tomorrow is a holiday. It has come straight from the horse's mouth. Means the announcement has been done by the principal. So what is the meaning of straight from the horse's mouth? Means that you heard the information from someone who has, now you see here, information from someone who has personal knowledge. The principal is the right person to tell whether next day is a holiday or not. So you can use this in the office also. Oh my, has the what you say, has the PF, has the DA increased? Then another employee can say, oh yes, it has come straight from the horse's mouth. That is, the employer must have told, must have announced that the DA has increased in the salary. All right. So these are the very comfortable ways of expression, of confidently speaking a language, especially the English language. You learn these idioms. Everyday learners, you learn at least 5 idioms and 5 phrases so that you can remember in your mind, you can keep them and you can use in your conversational English. Now, you may say that you don't get a chance to converse English. It is not, you should not take up these excuses. What is your work? You hear something, then you keep it in your mind and you write it. So, how you are learning spoken English. You are writing it using idioms and phrases also, and then after writing it, you speak aloud. You can, of course, record it and then again hear it, and then you can evaluate it. So this is a very nice method of speaking English in a correct way. Now you see here, next one, an idiom cannot be taken literally, but the figurative meaning should be understood. Now here's it says that an idiom cannot be taken literally. Now what does this mean? That the words of the idiom should not be understood. What should be understood? The figurative language of the idiom should be understood. Now, what is the actually the figurative language? Now, the figurative language is now what is the figurative language? The figurative language is not the basic meaning of the word, but what it is more the imaginative meaning. What has been the meanings have been coming down, coming to us. The basic meaning of the words should not be taken, but the imaginative word, that is called figurative, that is called, you can also say metaphorical, that is a picture comes, a comparison with a picture comes, which tells you the meaning of the idioms. For example, as I told you, it's raining cats and dogs. That doesn't mean that cats and dogs are coming down from the sky. That is the basic meaning of the words. Now, basic meanings of the words are not there. How is the idiom used? Idiom is used. Hello, Kushi. Now, this is for class 11, 12 both, but this is particularly I have done for class 11 so that you learn till 12 also. That is how to, as I told you, Kushi, Thakur Kushi Singh, that when you learn English, what are you doing? You are actually learning to speak English, which is very necessary in these times because of because English is an international language and you have to learn it to have a good career. Okay? Now you see what I was telling you, an idiom cannot be taken literally, but the figurative meaning should be understood. Literally means the basic meaning of the word should not be taken, but the figurative meaning means the imaginative meaning, the comparison which is made is to be taken. For example, you see, now here you see the phrase raining cats and dogs does not mean this, no? This picture that cats and dogs are coming down from the sky. It's not that. The phrase raining cats and dogs means, yes, dear. Yes, Kushi Singh. So the phrase raining cats and dogs means it is raining heavily. All right. And this is what? Literal meaning. That is the basic meaning of the words that cats and dogs are dropping from the sky. Is it possible? No. So what you have to take? You have to take the figurative meaning. So this is how, what I am telling you, that every day you learn at least 5 idioms, 5 phrases to have command over spoken English. Now you see here, now the phrase raining cats and dogs means heavy rainfall. Now this is actually what the phrase means, that it is raining heavily. It's raining cats and dogs and not this. This is the literal meaning, basic meaning of the words. And here, what is it? It is that is, it's raining heavily. All right. So the figurative meaning of course, eagle sky. What is your name? It is very to write what I am telling you, to write a very good English, speak very good English, you can always use idioms in your board exams also. It is not a slang, no, you can use it. Of course, this is very good. I told you, even Shakespeare has used, he has coined so many, innumerable uh, idioms in his plays. So the figurative meaning of raining cats and dogs is what? It is to rain heavily. So now, students, learners, so the best way to speak English is to practice more and more idiom. Best way to speak English. Now, this class is for speaking, for spoken English. So the best way to speak English is practice more and more idioms. Best way of writing your answers is also use of more and more idioms. Are you getting it? Okay. So more and more idioms by understanding them. But how you will understand? You will have to know the meanings, the figurative meaning. You cannot use it according to the basic meaning of those words. All right. Now, here, there is a list of commonly used idioms and sayings in everyday conversation, in everyday conversational English. Suppose I say, "Oh my, she's the apple of her mother's eye." Means she's a darling of her mother. All right, she's an apple of my eye. That is, she's my very favorite person. All right. So these are all the common conversational English. In writing English, you can use the idioms. All right. Yes, practice more. Thakur Khushi Singh, it's very nice. What I am telling here in the beginning of the class only, I told that English can be spoken in an excellent way, in a fluent way, only by practicing. Practice more and more. Yes, and every day y'all learn at least 5 idioms, 5 phrases. Phrases I told you like thank you very much. That is a phrase. Oh, that's great. That's awesome. That's perfect. All these are what? Phrases, which I will explain you now. So, in idioms are used in the conversational English can help you to speak English by learning English idiomatic expression. Now, here, this is what I am telling. Kabir, this is only what I am telling that learn the correct English idiomatic expression. That is, you learn the meanings of also those. So many that I told you, no, it's raining cats and dogs. So you learn that it rains heavily. Or you say she's apple of an eye, apple of her eye. That means she is a very favorite person. You have to know, no. So this you have to know to learn English idiomatic expressions, to speak properly, to speak good English, and to write good English also. Now you see the examples here. When you say a fish out of water, oh my, that student is fish out of water. Suppose a new student comes in the class. He cannot adjust no immediately from the very first day. There are so many bullies in the class. And immediately you can say what? That new student is a fish out of water. Means he is unable, he is feeling uncomfortable. So I've given you the meanings here. A fish out of water. What is the meaning? Meaning is uncomfortable and restless. For example, the sentence you can use, the new student looked like a fish out of water. Nobody was aware of the issue. So nobody was aware that he was actually feeling what? Fish out of the water. In Hindi also you have the same thing. Muhavres you have in Hindi also. Idioms are the muhavres in Hindi. Yes, yes, Kushi Singh, you have to learn with meaning, you have to learn the idioms. 5 idioms you learn every day. 5 phrases you learn every day. So here, aftermath means what? The effects of something. Now, this is also an idiom. Aftermath. You have to face the aftermath means the effects of something. The effects of something traumatic. Traumatic means very severe. For example, you see the sentence, a lot of countries sent help in the aftermath of the earthquake. So such calamities happen, no, natural calamities, that earthquakes happen, and you can read in the newspaper what a lot of countries had sent help in the aftermath. Aftermath means after the effect of the earthquake. All right. So when you hear to good English in TV, you register in your mind Then, when you know a story in your own mother tongue, what is your responsibility? Aftermath means, ma'am, in Hindi. Okay, Hindi. What do you say? Parinam, you can say. What was the माने भूकंप का क्या असर हुआ? That is aftermath. All right. Okay. Now this is an English class now. So I'll try to explain. If you want some words, I can say. So here you see, next is trouble shared is trouble half. Now this is again a very nice idiom. Trouble shared is trouble halved. Then you tell your friend, now why are you so worried? Please tell me your trouble, because trouble shared is trouble halved. This is the way you speak English. This is the way you learn the idiom. That if you trouble shared is trouble halved. That means a trouble shared is trouble halved. Means half your trouble is finished if you share your problem, if you share your trouble. For example, don't hesitate to share your problems with me. After all, a trouble shared is trouble halved. Okay? All right, are you understanding? Now, next, you see, this is a very, very common expression, very, very common idiom. Often we say, all roads lead to Rome. That doesn't mean the road of your city, Delhi, Agra, whichever city you are staying, Kanpur, Mumbai, this side, Cochin, Goa. That doesn't mean the from all the cities or from all the roads are leading to Rome. It's not that. This is an expression. This is an idiom in which you understand that what is the meaning of all roads lead to Rome. This you can use. That is, all the routes are directed towards the center. All the routes are directed towards the center. Suppose we can say that if we are targeting that there is a grand show on the Republic Day in Delhi. So you can say all the roads lead to Rome. That is, from all the cities, people are going to Delhi. Are you understanding? This is, and this, Kabir, just as you asked, this you can use, these idioms you can use in your composition, you can use in your write ups, in your board exam also you can use. Yes, Kushi, what are you asking? If can't understand the meaning of any word in Hindi. Okay, okay, you ask me. All right, you ask me. Pranjali, Parul, good evening, dear. Please follow what I'm explaining about the idioms. Yes, the spelling is wrong. Pranjali, Rome, Rome, not Roam. Rome means all the roads lead to Rome, means all the routes are directed towards the center. Understood? Yes. Now next, please follow. These are, the tricks of learning to speak English. And what I said, a boy or a girl with an excellent result may not have that prosperous career if he or she doesn't know to speak English. These days, it was not so in our times, 20 years, 25 years back, it was not so. We used to learn English theoretically, and we all used to learn English. But now, yes, we learned English in that way. But now, what is your responsibility? Your responsibility is to speak English proper way so that you have a proper career because of the globalization. Because in globalization, of course, English is always used because English is an international language. So you must learn to speak English. You must have command over English. So such words you are using. Now, example of all roads lead to Rome, you see. Take any route of your choice because all roads lead to Rome. Means all roads are going to the main place in the center. Get on nerves. Now, this is very common. Now, a child is doing a lot of childish pranks, a lot of naughtiness. Then the mother will say, oh my, don't get on my nerves. Please don't irritate me. Means It is to irritate. Now here you see, that is to tick someone off. That is to tell that you are irritating. Put your mobile phone in silent mode. All right. Put your mobile phone. Of course, what happens is getting on. Suppose your mobile is always buzzing. So your mother or your anyone, your any elder also can say, any friend also can say, that put your mobile phone on silent mode. It's loud noise, loud ringtone is getting on my nerves. That is, it is irritating me. It is getting. Let me get rid of this. Take it off. Understood? All these are very common. As a result. Now next is as a result. Yes, yes, Kushi. Yes, dear. What do you hear, Kabir? What do you hear from your teacher? Because these are very important for your composition also. And Kushi, you also, you have to learn English because it is very much required for all over the country. In your country also, it is required as well as to the countries abroad. That is a very common medium of expression. Now, next is as a result. Okay, Kushi, follow the others, Pranjali. Get on nerves. Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, yeah. That means to irritate. Okay. Now you have understood what is the meaning. You can use it in your conversational English, your written English, everywhere you can use. Okay. Now, next you see. Now, as a result, now the outcome of something that you have done, as a result, you always use, as a result, this happens. You can speak in your way of talking. As a result of this mishap means some kind of accident. As a result of this mishap, he was not on work for a week. So, as a result of mishap means some accident. He was not on work for a week. Means as a result means what? As a result means the outcome of something, the result of something, the outcome of something that you have done. Yeah. Okay, my name. Okay, Kushi. My name is Nupur Roy. I told you in the beginning, no, if you want to subscribe, what you see, you can use my referral code NUPUR10. All right. In Unacademy, you can get a subscription. You can get a discount. All right. You knew my name, no? Okay. Now we are doing here. Now you see here, as a result, you have understood. Next, you see Black Day. Now, Black Day means, what is the meaning of Black Day? It is the day on which something terrible has happened. You always say it was a black day. In the newspaper also often you can read something very, a terrorist attack was there. So it was a black day for that city. Means, or some kind of accident happened, some kind of natural calamity happened, then also it can be used. It is a day on which something terrible has happened. Black day. My grandmother told me that it is a black day tomorrow. That is the next day. The grandmother is telling that the black day is the tomorrow, means the next day. Might be on that particular day, the grandmother does not want to remember any bad incident of her life. All right. So you can use in this way, black day. All right. Yes. Yes, Khushi, Durghatna. Mishap means Durghatna. So it is very good way you are telling, Khushi. First you do everything, you translate in your mind. Then what? How you are learning to speak English? You are writing that in your in English, and then you are reading aloud, record it, and then again you evaluate it. Evaluate it means correct that. That is the best way of learning English. Okay. Okay. Now next you see against the grain. Now, this is also an idiom. Against the grain means The meaning is a difficult path to be followed. It is against the grain, means it is a difficult path is to be followed. It is against the grain for me to tackle dishonest people. That it is, you can use like this. It is against the grain for me to tackle dishonest people. Tackle means to deal. Dishonest, dishonest means what? A person who is not honest, a person who always tells lies. So it is against the grain for me to tackle dishonest people. You can use it. What is the against the grain? Means it is a difficult task for me. Yes, yes, Khushi. In this way, you will see, you will learn English very fast. You do it regularly. All the learners, I'm telling, regularly, what you are doing, you are speaking English. You take up something. You suppose you have a story. Also, what I told you, you translate. It is in your mind. Suppose the story of what is what you say, कछुआ और खरगोश की कहानी. Now, without seeing the English translate, you yourself translate. What did you know the story, Kachua or Khargosh ki kahani. That is, you will translate it into English. The tortoise and the story of the tortoise and the hare. Kachua, Khargosh is the hare, H-A-R-E. So then what is your work? You will translate the story. Suppose any incident has happened to you. Suppose you won a prize on the sports day. What you will do? You will write it in English. And however you know to speak in English, you will speak in English. So this is the way you learn English. And with the help of these idioms, you are giving a very, very confident way of speaking you are learning. Next, you see apples to apples, meaning apples to apples means to find out who is stronger. Who is stronger is the apples to apple. That is what you are doing. You measure apples to apples, means measure the capability of each person in order to win the first prize in the field of Olympics. So you can use this apples to apples, means the competition scene. Who is stronger between the two? Apples to apples. Then you can give the prize in the field of Olympics, it's said. Act of God. Now here the meaning is act of God, you see. The meaning, an occurrence out of control, natural forces in action. You say, no, earthquake had come. Oh my, it's an act of God. Where you don't have any control. You cannot control the natural forces in action. Then you can say act of God. So how you are using? In this way, what? Your English will also be very fluent. Oh my, there was a cyclone. It was an act of God. Nothing, man could do nothing. If there was an earthquake, it was an act of God. That is, you see the sentence, no matter how strong you are, but you cannot stop, can't means cannot stop the acts of God. It is very true, no? Now, this is also very, very common. This is also from the Shakespearean play, from William Shakespeare's play, All That Glitters Is Not Gold. This is also from the play, from the drama, The Merchant of Venice. Here, one of the characters say this word, this idiom, all that glitters is not gold. What is the meaning? That the shining outer look is Karina. Earthquake is natural. Yes, Kushi. If I get mistaken myself, please instruct me. Of course. Earthquake is natural disaster. Correct, Kushi. Karina, hello. All right, what I was telling, that all that glitters is not gold. What is the meaning? The shining outer look of something is not a consistent sign of its real character. That is, the outer shine will not show the real character of the thing, real character of the person. What happens? Many person, they will dress so nicely. Oh my, flashy. They will dress, they'll be very, show a lot of impression. It doesn't mean that he may be a good person from inside, from his heart. So what is it? It is all that glitters is not gold. Understood? Yes, हर चमकने वाली चीज सोना नहीं होती. Is this a muhavra in Hindi? Is it so? Is it a muhavra in Hindi? The same thing is that all that glitters is not gold. Next, you see. For example, the sentence you see, my grandmother advised me to be careful about making new friends because when you make new friends, you must remember that all that glitters is not gold. You cannot make a friend from the outward look. You have to study the person. You have to know what kind of a person is he or she, and then you make friends. Is it clear? All right. Now, this is also very, very common. Now, as I told you, there are numerous idioms. Only I took a few very common so that you use it in your English speaking and writing. But what is your work? You please go and study. Every day you study 5. No, sorry. That is very good expression you said. Yes. Okay. A stitch in time saves 9. This is very common. What does it mean? Do not deal with a specific problem or you risk it getting much worse later on. Or a stitch in time means exactly at the right time if you do a work that will save your time later. This is what is meant. For example, here the sentence, you may get confused with this now. John said to his brother, you better bring your car to the shop while it's still running. That is, still running means still active. It's not stopped. It's active because what he says, stitch in time saves 9. That a work in the right time will always save your time later. If you do a work in the right time, then it will save your time. It saves 9 means saves your several um, minutes in your time. All the rage. Okay. All the rage you are understanding. This is also very common. All the rage. Meaning when something is the height of popularity. She is all the rage. Means suppose a friend of yours is become an Indian idol. All right. Very nice singer. Very good singer. You can say she is all the rage. Means she is in the height of popularity. All right. So my parents used to love the Beatles. Beatles is a group of singers. They were all the rage when they were teenagers. So those Beatles were very popular when they were used to sing when they were teenagers. Now here, a needle in a haystack. A needle in a haystack. Needle, you know? What is a needle? A sui. In a haystack, you understand? What is it? The Okay, in a haystack, I hope you understand this in Hindi, what it is. Something very small amidst something very big. Haystack, the whole harvest is tied, no? When the harvest is ready in the cultivation, in the farms, then they are all bound, they are all tied in a haystack. So if a needle you drop in that, you can never find, no? So, in literal as well as figurative meaning, what it is, that something very small amidst something very big. You must be kidding when you say that you would like to find evidence in this case. It is like trying to find a needle in a haystack. You must be kidding means you must be joking that when you say that you would like to find evidence, that is, you would like to find some proof in some very serious case. It is just like, so the speaker says, the sentence is saying that is just like trying to find a needle. That is, small evidence will not prove anything. So it is just like trying to find a needle in a haystack. Yes. Next, a house of cards. In Hindi also you say, no, ताश के पत्ते की तरह गिर गई. You say no? The same thing. A house of cards means what is the meaning? Something meaning something that can easily be broken. That can easily be broken or crumble by its. Crumble means tootna. By itself, something that is very fragile means very weak in nature, something that cannot be protected. That is house of cards. What is it? The just like a house of cards. Now the sentence you say, I have seen many such careers fall like a house of cards in the cruel IT industry. That is, it is said that many careers, many people's job goes in just like house of cards. It breaks. It's so fragile in the IT. IT means what? Information technology. You will know very well, no? Information technology. Those industries, many lose their jobs, no? All Greek to me. This is very common. If I don't know anything, no, I will say immediately, oh my, it's all Greek to me. Means used to convey that you cannot understand what is being said or written. Example, don't try to explain the technicalities of how this machine works, because how that machine works, don't explain me, because that is all Greek to me. That is, I know nothing, I don't understand anything. All right, all bark and no bite. All right, all bark, no bite. Now, what it says, that means it threatens, but aggressive, but not willing to engage in fight. Means all bark and no bite. Means it's threatening, it's aggressive, but not willing to engage in a fight, not willing to start a fight. Now, here there is a Hindi meaning also. What do you say? Hmm, जो गरजता है वो बरसता नहीं, I think that is the one. Something like that. जो गरजता वो बरसता नहीं. I cannot remember the correct words, but it is something like this. All bark and no bite. Example, I heard he was threatened by you with dire consequences. Dire means serious consequences if you do not stop that construction. Don't worry, he is all bark and no bite. Means he only shouts, he shows his aggression, but he is not doing any kind of seriously work. He is not going to fight. Okay. Now this is also, learners, you are always listening. A bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. That is what happens. A bird, if you catch in the hand, it is said, literal meaning also. If you catch a bird in the hand and then you see that in the bush there are two more. If you leave that bird and you go chasing those two birds, you will never be able to catch them. So it is said that a bird in the hand is always two in the bush. That is, in the meaning it is said, जो गरजते हैं वो बरसते नहीं. All right. This also has one Hindi meaning, I think. This muhavre is also one Hindi meaning is there, I think. What you already have, the other learners, you will also understand. You directly learn the English muhavra. If you don't know Hindi, that is okay. In English, you will learn these idioms. What you already have is more valuable than the prospect to have something greater. You become you wish to get more, no, but it is not that. Whatever you have, you should be happy with it, and you should not have the prospect to have something greater. For example, you may not like your job, but don't quit merely on the hope of finding a better one, because a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. One job, what you have, it is worth. You don't go run after another job. All right, so these are the few idioms these are very common idioms which I explained here. Now you see, next is the phrases. As I told you, in spoken English, idioms, phrases, you must know it. These are very easily you can understand and use them. Such words you see, phrases. What are phrases? Phrases are, in my plus classes I have explained, I think. Kabir must be knowing. In my plus classes I told that a phrase is what? Few words which doesn't have a subject and a verb. All right. Clause has a subject and a verb, but phrase doesn't have a subject and a verb. But it is a nice way of expression. For example, my my uh, my necklace is made of gold. All right. So you can write that my necklace is made of the metal gold. So of the metal gold is again a phrase. So here you see some catchy phrases I have given you. These are very common. You must be using in your WhatsApp also, fatafat. But not don't use the WhatsApp language in your writings in your board exam. First eight phrases can be used in many different situations. You see, thanks so much. You can use this. This is a simple sentence you can use to thank someone. Thanks so much. All right, after some work, you can say thanks so much. Or you can say, thanks so much for the birthday money. Thanks so much for driving me home. These are all what? Spoken English you can use. After that, you can say, I really appreciate. You can also use this phrase to thank someone. I really appreciate your help. For example, you might say, I really appreciate your help. Or you can combine the sentence one and you can write, thanks so much for cooking dinner. I really. Now, both the phrases are here. Sorry. Now, both the phrases are here. Thanks so much. I really appreciate it. This is all what? Spoken English. You can use these. Often you can use. I really appreciate. Thanks so much. Very common, yes. Very good. Thanks so much. I really appreciate you cooking dinner. Now, excuse me. Now, such phrases, excuse me, these are all what? When you know them, you can confidently speak English. You can confidently write English. Excuse me means you need to get through, but there's someone blocking your way. You can say like this, excuse me. You can also say this phrase to politely to get someone's attention. For example, excuse me, sir, you dropped your wallet. Wallet means the purse. All right. All these are spoken English you can use. Excuse me, do you know what time it is? All right. I am sorry. Now, this is also a phrase. How you can say in spoken English? I am sorry means you are, this phrase is what? Is used to apologize, to ask sorry from a person for something big or small. Use for to give more deal. I am sorry for being so late. I am sorry for the mess. I wasn't expecting anyone today. You can use really also in this. I am really sorry, you can also say. So, what is this? I am really sorry. That means you are using a phrase. Are you understanding, students? All the learners, I hope you all are understanding. So this is a very good way of speaking English, writing English also. I'm really sorry I did not invite you to the party. Now, this kind of expression, what do you think? When you want to hear someone's opinion on a topic, use this question. I am not sure if we should paint the room yellow or blue. What do you think? You can add this in your conversation. How does that sound? That is, if you suggest an idea or a plan, use this phrase to find out what others think. All right. So here, next you see, we could have dinner at 6 and then go to a movie. How does that sound? Means, how do you like it? Let's hire a band to play music and Brent can photograph the event. How does that sound? Means, how is actually, what do you say? How that sound? I am sorry, I forget my book. No, I forgot my book, not forget. Kushi, I am sorry, I forgot my book. All right. That sounds great. If you like an idea, you can respond to sentence 6 with this phrase. Great can be replaced with any synonym. That sounds great means I told you, no, that sounds awesome. That sounds perfect. That sounds excellent. That sounds fantastic. Any word you can use. Here, here. Are you getting it? So, any word you can use. That sounds awesome. That sounds perfect. Is anything you can use. So here, after this, you see, yeah. Next, you see, my mom is baking cookies this afternoon. We could go to my house and eat some. How does that sound? That sounds fantastic. Now, this is conversation. Then the answer will be of the B means the second person, he can answer. That sounds fantastic. That sounds awesome. That sounds perfect. Anything. Now, the eighth one, oh, never mind. You can always say, never mind. Use these expressions, use these phrases in your spoken English and written English. So, let's say someone doesn't understand an area. Where, dear? That or that's. Will it be there, that or that's? Where was it? That sounds great. This one, that sounds great. It will be that, not that's. It will be that. Oh, never mind. Here you see, if you have explained it over and over again and you want to stop, just say, oh, never mind. Might be the person is not understanding what you want to convey. So you can say, oh, never mind. You can now talk about something else. So you can also use never mind to mean it doesn't matter. Or just for all these phrases, it doesn't matter. It just forget it. In these situations, say it with a smile. You can say, no, never mind. It doesn't matter. Just forget it. So you can say in this way. So say it with a smile and positive tone. Though otherwise, when you say this phrase slowly with a falling low tone, it can mean you are bothered or upset. So how will you say? In a smiling tone. Are you going to the grocery store today? No, I am not. But why? Do you need something? Then the answer will be A will be giving, oh, never mind. So with a smile, the A has to say, oh, never mind. If he says in a serious and put her head or his head down and say, then that will mean that you are not happy, you are upset with him. So with a smile, this is the way of speaking. With a smile, you have to say, oh, never mind, it's okay, I'll go tomorrow. All right, these are the ways of spoken English. Now, students, I hope you all have understood the one of the skills, two, I think, idioms, phrases, how you use in your spoken English, written English to improve your English. All right, I hope you have understood. So once more, let me remind you about this, that whenever you are giving a subscription, you please put this code and get additional discount and feel nice to join this Unacademy platform. Thank you, students. Thank you, learners. Thank you, viewers, everyone. And what was it? It was a nice discussion we did about enrich your spoken English with idioms and phrases. And ultimately, I have requested you about this to join. You have a subscription of the Unacademy platform where you get the best tutors, best educators. Thank you.